it takes leads to grow a business.
Yeah.
And it takes sales. So if you're not willing to take that, that risk, put your name out there, then you're never going to grow. Our brand promises hot water today or till we pay.
Right.
So with a hot water heater, we have to have it installed by 3 p.m.
Wow.
that day. If you call in by 3, we'll have it installed the same day.
Yeah.
Or we'll pay you $5. When our ads are running, I know because I have people send me hate mail. So
hey, good. At least
we love it. Yeah. Do they get it? Do they want it? And do they have the capacity to do it?
Okay.
So those are my 3 things, when looking at someone. I think everybody's going to make the wrong decision. You're always going to put the wrong person in the wrong seat. And, it's up to the leader to make sure that you nip that in the butt pretty quick.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of bad decisions. So, but it's, if I didn't make those decisions, but the alternative side is I could have sat there and not made those decisions and always thought about that one person that's going to walk through the door and waiting on that perfect one. You want someone that is a team builder. So you need a team builder that's going to, be the quarterback of the team and put the right people in the right seats under them. You're not bettering yourself. You're not going to better your team.
Right.
So you as an owner always have to be working on yourself, or even a leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even a leader of a service manager, leader of a team. If you're not working on yourself, then you're not growing.
Kelson, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. For those who have not met you, could you share with everyone your name, company name, where you guys are located?
My name's Kelson Carter, located out of Greenwood, Indiana, about 20 minutes south of Indianapolis. Name is Carter's My Plumber.
Very good.
Strictly plumbing company.
Strictly plumbing.
So we 100% residential service.
Yeah.
Just kind of my story. Got into the trade in 2009. It was a great time to get into the trade, and the economy was really bad.
Yeah.
I am a 3rd generation plumber.
Right.
And my father had a 2-year non-compete from his last business.
Yeah.
And he said if I really wanted to go down the plumbing route, which I am more of a blue-collar type of technician. I grew up turning a wrench. I wasn't the best in school, I guess you could say. Not very good grades. So anyways, I did new construction for almost 3 years.
Okay.
Custom homes.
Yeah.
Wasn't a lot of custom home building going on at the time.
Right.
But I really learned about cash flow and waiting on your money.
Yeah.
Big time. And that was the biggest lesson that I learned from it.
Right.
So around 2011, 12, I decided, hey, let's start running some service calls. We put a small ad in Yellow Pages because that still was a thing then.
Yeah.
And, started running some minor calls. And I said, I really, I like sales and I like dealing with people.
Yeah.
Some days. So... So we decided to, of course, my father helped me the whole way.
Yeah. Let's slow down a little bit. So they have you said 3rd generation.
Yes.
Grandfather was a plumber.
Grandfather was a plumber. One man show. Did remodel construction type stuff his whole life.
Okay.
Dad came along. 2nd generation's the big bahoo-ha.
Yeah.
Knocked it
Blow
out.
it up.
Yeah. Blow it up. He was doing new construction. Massive new construction company. Couldn't sleep at night because he couldn't pay his bills.
Right.
Always waiting on the cash. He joined Contractors 2095.
Yeah.
Came back, went full 100% service.
Yeah.
Went from, I think he had 70 employees down to 6.
Yeah.
Just didn't even want to deal with it anymore.
Sure. No more headaches.
Yeah. No more headaches.
Fewer. Let's put fewer.
Yeah.
Fewer.
Yeah. So got out of that, and then he started HVAC.
Yeah.
And it was called Carter Service Company.
Yeah.
And then in 2003 joined SGI, or PSI, Airtime 500.
All of it.
And
that's why we've rebranded a certain path, by the way.
Yeah.
Too many letters. Nobody knew who we were.
Right. Certain Path's a great name.
Yeah.
So joined that, became a Ben Franklin franchisee, 1 hour franchise, was a model center for Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity to sell out in 2006-07.
Yeah.
So they got out, and so then he never thought I would get into the trade.
Yeah. So for you then, so this, because you're young. I mean, so you graduated high school in
09.
09. So you had, you
grew up around it. I hung around the shop all the time.
Yeah.
I knew the ins and outs of somewhat of the business. I knew all the terminology.
Yeah.
And we would actually go on trips, these trips that were at, an expo. We would go as kids.
Yeah.
Parents would be in meetings all day. Me and my sister would be at the pool, playing.
Yeah.
Wonder where mommy and daddy are.
Right.
But looking back, it was great life lessons.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. You were exposed to a level of business that a lot of people that we deal with in the trades, that we are sharing this with them, and it's brand new. But at least for you, it wasn't completely brand new. But
yeah.
You said you wanted to do construction, though, at first.
No, my father.
Your father was.
Yeah, that was his guidance to me. You know, he's always been my number one mentor.
Sure.
Along with my mother.
Yes.
And both are fantastic people.
Yeah.
But his mentorship was, you know, if you really want the respect of your employees one day, you need to understand the trade.
Right.
If you are going to grow something, and you may never want to grow it.
Right.
You know, I don't know what you want. That's your decision.
Right.
And that was the best thing he ever did for me, was to just figure those things out.
Right.
But the biggest thing he did for me was put the fundamentals that Certain Path teaches.
Yeah.
Everything from the price book to, you know, understanding a profit and loss statement.
Right.
Day one, those were put in my hands to build off of.
Yeah. Yeah. And he mentored you through that. So why did you decide, I want to build something? Why not just go work for somebody, a big contract? I mean, you can show them all the experience you have. I mean, even as a young person, you can go, hey, I know what this stuff is. You know, why want to build your own thing?
I would say for me, I am an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I've always been. I had a mowing business when I was 16.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've always liked working for myself. I mean, you know, I did leave at one point in my life when I was 25 for a few weeks to go work for a company in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, really?
Just to see what it was like.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of turnover. I mean, everybody knows, you know, going from, you know, we were at $0 in service, and then once we hit that $1 million mark, you know, you'd have 2 guys leave, and it's just constant, you know, just couldn't figure out how to get past that.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I needed to go somewhere, try something different. Well, I went to this company, they were still time material, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, but I didn't plan on staying there. It was more of, you know,
learning experience.
Yeah, it was a learning experience, and I just left for a couple weeks and came back. But no, I mean, started in 2011, 12.
So you started 11 and 12. You said you partnered with your parents, right?
What?
When you started your own business, you partnered with your folks, right?
Yeah, we were partners.
Right,
so
right. I know you bought them out, and we'll get into that in a minute. But initially, you're like, okay, I'm going to try and do this. And you're like, okay, I'll kind of coach you, and but you're going to start.
Yep. They were just kind of a mentorship. I mean, really more high level. My mom's always been really good at the marketing side. So, you know, helping build the brand. But from 2012 to 2015, we probably grew to 1.5 million. 2015, we had the opportunity to bring a salesman in that actually had worked for my father back in the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, that really changed everything. It really opened my eyes when we brought sales in.
Yeah.
We immediately grew to probably 2.6. Within a year or two.
Right.
What led us to attend the event today? We've been watching the Certain Path podcast on YouTube for quite some time, and it just had a lot of good content, so we wanted to come and see what that content was live. Coming into this, I had no expectations of what it might be. I've never experienced anything like this before, but it proved to be a truly moving and engaging experience all the way around. My most powerful insight from this is that there are other contractors just like me, just struggling to make it, to figure it out. And it's wonderful to know that there's a network of people that can help support you and have your back. The most exciting thing to take home here, what we're going to implement, is going to be the call taking and dispatching for profit. I can truly see from the coaches what the value of that is, and for us, that's going to be step one. I would recommend others come and experience so that they can find out what they don't know, to understand that they don't know what they don't know, and to be able to experience a community that's willing to help answer that question.
So, and then 2000, I was 25, and that's another thing in your 20s. You're trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's, you know, I was trying to figure out relationships.
Sure.
You know, who am I going to marry one day? There's just a lot of things going on. In your life.
For sure.
So, you know, buying your first house, and 20s is really figuring out something. I would say late 20s when I started getting serious, and I'm like, I really want to keep building something to create a legacy.
Right.
And, you know, when I was 27, 28, which would have been 2018, 19, we did the Kick Charge rebrand kind of before it got really hot.
I was going to get into that. Yes. So let's dig into that.
Yeah. So I, back in the day, Jamie used to Smell Good Plumbers.
Oh, yeah.
Huge success.
Beyond that, yes.
Yeah. If anybody's not running it today, I would be running it, because it's a game changer. I mean, when you have a tagline like that, everybody remembers you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but my tagline is I'm the Prince of Plumbing.
Yeah.
So it really just took traction. And even going in supply houses, everybody gives me a hard time about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we rebranded around the Prince of Plumbing.
And Kickcharge, beautiful job with the trucks. I mean, they're really nice looking. Yeah.
Look fantastic. So branded around that. And then I tried to, what could we do to differentiate ourselves in the Indianapolis market? Because everybody's chasing drains.
Yes.
Everybody's 93 or free. Everybody's in the drain cleaning, which is a big business.
Yeah.
We came out of the gate, my trademark hot water today or it's UB today. And we did a jingle around it. And we really hit home with that. So we just really have been just hitting it home with hot water heaters.
Yeah.
Actually, 40% of our business is hot water heaters.
Yeah.
So, and now I'm at a point where I'm trying to grow the drain side, because we've kind of maxed out as far as how many in market share we can do.
Right.
So
you mentioned the sales, and we'll dig into that more explicitly. But so people were just calling for water heater quotes then, and and the salesman would go out.
No, it's being known for something around. There's a big company locally that was first in the gate for 93 or free, and today they still run the same jingle, and you have to be consistent. With your messaging, but they chased that and they won on the drain cleaning side. People still think it's kind of like the Roto-Rooter brand. You think of the drain cleaning.
Yeah.
So we just want to be known for hot water, the hot water experts.
Right.
So
when did you decide? By the way, you're running today. I kind of set up. You're about $11 million, right? In plumbing, again, residential only. When did you decide you could start investing into branding? Obviously the wraps are one thing, and that's expensive. But then you're talking about jingles.
Yeah.
Right. So you're talking radio. Maybe you're doing TV. We'll dig into the digital part in a minute. So when did you feel like I was comfortable as a business owner investing in that?
Well, I think, if I could do it all again, it would have been to start right with the brand. Yeah. And the knowledge that everybody knows in today's world, a brand is everything. I mean, we have, I think, 40 trucks on the road. So, people tell me all the time, I see you guys everywhere.
Right.
And every single truck looks the same. And I think it's very important to have that messaging exactly the same, whether your TV, your radio, everything has to be lined up.
Yeah.
Same messaging. But I don't think there's any right amount of time. It's when do you want to make the investment?
Right.
It takes leads to grow a business.
Yeah.
And it takes sales.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to take that, that risk to put your name out there, then you're never going to grow.
Right. Who works with you on your career? I mean, again, let's talk top of the funnel. We'll get all the way down. Who works with you and your creative on that, and then how to manage, your campaigns moving forward? It sounds like you do a lot of it internally.
Yeah, almost all of it's internal. We do have a guy that he works exclusively with us out of California. Okay, he does all of our placements. We have a representative from the local TV station in Indy that we've known forever. That we work with her directly. Okay. But I will tell you, you enter that market, you need to make sure what you're doing, because they will throw you wherever they want on the time slots. You need to know that they are a sales organization too, and you can push them around. Yeah. So that's where we get freebies all the time, where most people probably never ask for freebies.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that is critical. I always remember talking to Gus.
From a marketing, going back, the best thing we did was own an area before you expand. Own, if you could, I talk to too many people reach out to me and say, I want to do radio, I want to do billboards, I want to do this. Right. I tell them, well, how many people are you servicing now in your zip code? The zip code you're working in. Right. Well, they're not even touching, they don't even own the zip code. They only have a market share of it over 30%. Right. So I would be hitting every door direct mail. Okay. Just trying to put yard signs out, but doing the small stuff before you do the big stuff. Right. Right.
How do you know, let's pursue that a little bit. How do you target zip codes now? Like how specific are you in your recruiting, your marketing efforts to get targeted zip codes and ensure, you're making more money here than you are versus that part of town, right?
Yeah. So, well, Service Titan has like a heat map that they can tell you that type of stuff. But for us, it's more we kind of just cast the net wide. Okay. Direct mail, we still, I still do it the old way. We still send a lot to we hit a whole zip code because it's cheaper. Right. But I don't think there's a wrong answer to it. Yeah.
What are your offers on the direct mail trade? Or for your direct mail, when your mailers, is it like discounted on service?
Yeah, we have coupons.
Just coupons?
Yeah, we have one really good one that we did last year that you peel a sticker off of. Okay. and you can place it on your water heater. So it's a trade-in sticker. We had really good luck with that. So, and direct mail too is one of those things that doesn't, it's not always going to make the phone ring right away.
I tell people a lot of ways it's a branding.
Yeah. And that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Because, digital stuff, that's that immediate hit.
Yeah.
But, at least you're being seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you, it's
pull
out of your mailbox. Before I throw it in the trash,
You'll
I at least see it.
Yeah.
And I tell, some people run real rough postcards, and it's like, I would make sure the brand is there, so at least see your brand.
We do a 6x8 massive postcard. It's, glossy.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to look at it before you throw away.
Right. And I mean, it's just an impression. You're in the game of impressions, right?
Yeah.
I want to circle back before I forget. You talked about negotiating like your TV spots and stuff like that. And I was going to say, when I remember talking to Gus from Milestone years ago, he'd always hammer like morning news, right? Or after. Is that your same approach to that as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do it. We do some a lot different. I mix it up a little bit where it's me involved in the commercial.
Oh, okay, cool.
We use animated.
Oh,
and
all right.
by using the animated, we're able to split it up where they have 10-second slots. They have 15-second slots. They have a lot of smaller slots that most people can't fill.
Yeah.
And we're able to get those for free, But usually, it's evenings, mornings, Wednesday to Sunday are the best few times.
Right. Are you doing any OTA yet?
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
I have not. We just regular TV.
Yeah.
So it's been fine for us.
And it's what channels are you on, or what? Where's that?
We do 3 major stations. Okay. So whichever ones are sponsored.
Right.
I don't know if other states are the same, but we have some that are just local.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the big network ones.
Right.
So
you're not doing cable TV or something.
No, we don't. And I think it does serve its purpose.
Sure.
But the problem is you can't. The idea is you're wanting to hit your audience.
Yeah.
You may go in and watch the news for 15 minutes.
Yep.
And then your wife may come in 30 minutes later. So the idea is to be able to hit them. Like when our ads are running, I know because I have people send me hate mail. So
hey, good. At least
we love it. Yeah. At least you can hear it, right?
I agree. I just don't know a lot of people have had success doing offshoot shows. Typically, you squat on the news. And
it's all about consistency. I can't tell you enough. And that's the best advice I can give is be consistent. It may be the dumbest commercial ever. No one's going to remember. But you have to stand out and you have to be consistent.
Absolutely. How about digital? What's your philosophy on digital? What's working for you now?
As far as just
LSA,
yeah,
BBC,
that's our
SEO,
number one lead
all the
source.
3 letters,
Our number one lead source is definitely Google.
Yeah.
We get Bing is getting a lot of traction now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Bing, I don't know if it has to do with ChatGPT or what. So, but ChatGPT does use Bing. For resourcing. So, Google's definitely, it's an open lid. So,
right. Yeah. Everyone's got to deal with it. Yeah. Right. All right. So, marketing, obviously that's been a big component of it. But you get the lead, you got to do something with it.
Yep.
What you said, you've mentioned sales, right?
Yep.
And so what you do is unique. So kind of explain to everyone, what your salesperson does, what kind of leads that person runs, kind of just give everyone the lowdown.
Yeah. So we have true salesmen that run strictly free estimate calls. So homeowner calls in, I need a free estimate on a water heater. We send them out. We do a lot of verbals. We do keep track of the verbals.
Yep.
The one salesman I was talking about earlier, he runs like about 60% close rate over the phone. So, which is really impressive. So, because you get a lot of tire kickers in today's world, people,
especially a free estimate.
Yeah. A lot of people don't want you out. If we can at least get their address and their phone number, we're willing to give them a verbal estimate. We'll do verbals actually on everything.
So, how much is he asking? What size of water? I mean,
so there is stipulation because we have learned the hard way. You got to get pictures.
Okay.
Because we've had too many times we show up to the job and we can't do the job because it's nearly impossible to do.
Right.
So
that's part of the process.
We have to have the homeowner has to send a picture of the rating plate.
So while on the phone, he's asking these people to do this?
No. So the CSR takes a call. Mrs. Jones just refuses to have anybody out. She doesn't have time. A lot of times it really comes down to their husband and wife working.
Yeah.
I don't have time to shop around. Everybody's giving me these time frames of 1 to 5, whatever.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we close a lot of them because they're like, we're just so thankful that you were willing to take the call, answer our questions.
Right.
They were already sold online with our website, they saw that we're a reputable company.
Right.
So I think all that just tied together helps close the sale.
Right. Okay. So the call taker's taking the information, and then no, that's right. And then she goes, but I do need certain things, right? Yeah. So if you don't mind rolling through, so it's pictures of.
So a picture of a rating plate.
Yep.
So has a serial number, model number, because there's all kinds of different serial numbers and model numbers of units. They may say they have a 50-gallon gas, but it's a 50-gallon electric.
Yeah.
So we've had too many times, and then we need to see a picture of, the hallway where it's going.
Yeah.
And the entrance, and that can all be done through ServiceTitan.
Yeah.
So the CSR's job is to just make sure we book the call.
Okay.
So we run about 93% booking rate.
Wow.
Our whole entire company.
That's great.
But I think that does help with doing those verbals is we're able to save those calls, whereas most people just hang up, call the next person. And sometimes, everybody has their argument. They may not be the best lead.
Yeah.
So, but we try our best to save every lead because, as you know, marketing is very expensive.
Absolutely.
And in today's world, every lead matters.
Yeah. All right. So they capture all those photos.
Yep.
And when does a salesperson come in contact?
We respond within 60 minutes.
Within 60 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
Guaranteed.
All right. So how does that upload? Novice here with ServiceTitan. Maybe that's it. So they take the pictures. How do they upload them to you?
It comes in through the ServiceTitan chat.
Through the chat.
And then, the CSR is actually responsible for making sure it gets put on the call.
Got it.
And then they'll dispatch. We tag it that it's a hurdle.
Yeah.
So, and you have 60 minutes to respond. The salesman does.
So whatever he's doing, he's all of a sudden on the phone.
So he'll call them and sells the lead, flips it over to the sales lead coordinator.
Yeah.
And then they're responsible for getting our brand promises hot water day or two we pay.
Right.
So with a hot water heater, we have to have it installed by 3 p.m.
Wow.
That day. If you call in by 3, we'll have it installed the same day.
Yeah.
Or we'll pay you $500.
Right.
So
you have installers that are just
so we run a different model. We don't run the install service model.
Yeah.
All of our plumbers are able to install.
Okay.
We do utilize certain pass 5 level. So we know, where the technician is.
Yeah.
As far as, technical skills.
Yes.
So, and you can actually put all that stuff into ServiceTitan. So
there you go.
Dispatcher, whoever knows, hey, this tech has never done this before.
Right.
I shouldn't send them.
Yeah.
Or send a service manager with them just to get the job done, make sure it's done right.
Okay. So there you go. So that's how you augment that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you're size now where you probably do have someone who can
our
assign that
service
call
manager
to.
is you would call them kind of a call-by-call manager. I mean, they're responsible for, making sure each call that we're presenting at least 3 options on every call.
Yeah.
That's a big thing we just started doing recently is, we're holding that a KPI because we have too many times where guys will go out and they'll either give 20 estimates, and they'll just, or they won't ask for the sale. So just making sure we're getting three estimates.
For sure.
So
I want to close the loop on the salesman thing.
Okay.
But because it's so fascinating and I don't know a lot of people that do it.
Yeah.
So they're having there's a script I'm sure he works off essentially, right? I mean, is he able to
the one that's a debater? No. So he's more of, like I said, he's very good at finding out, what are your thoughts, over the phone.
Yeah.
The other salesman I have is more like follows the process.
Okay.
Not necessarily just trying to play poker and see what you're holding back.
Right. But I'm like, maybe I've had a traditional tank my whole life, and I don't even know what tankless is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he upgrades, still selling.
Oh yeah, we sell a lot of tankless. We do Renai.
Right. So I mean, that has to come up over the script, some sort, though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that,
as far as a set script, I don't have. I mean, we follow the 6-step, 6-step process. But
right.
As far as the exact script, but we do install a lot of tankless. So
okay, I love it. All right. So your technician gets dispatched to go install that tank, right?
Yeah.
He goes in there, you just plumber, right? You notice things.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Maybe you pass the whole bathroom and like, oh, yeah. So how does it often turn into additional opportunities?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And how do you train your guys on doing that? How to talk to the homeowner about that?
Yeah. So there's 2 ways to do it.
Yeah.
Some technicians will bring the salesman back to sell more.
Okay.
Because they've already established a relationship with them, and usually the homeowner's okay with that.
Yeah.
But other times the technician is capable of presenting those things. So we make sure that the technician's able to run a service call before we put them in a truck.
Right.
So
how does it work with the salesman? Will he just run right there while it's leads
Yeah,
hot?
usually, yeah.
Or rebook it?
Yeah.
Okay. No,
We split it up into pretty much, we divide the state or the city. So we have territories.
Okay.
We don't do right tech, right call for the salesman. It's kind of crazy, but we don't, we don't want them driving all over the place.
Right.
So, it's either you can hit those numbers in that area or you can't.
Okay.
So you just have to be held accountable for your KPIs.
There you go. And so your technicians then, the ones that can do that, they know how to have that conversation with the home.
Yes.
Mrs. Jones, hey, I just noticed that the shutoff looks really corroded.
Yep.
It's a safety issue. I'm sure that's all documented service time. You're keeping track of what. So do they get much pushback in terms of, hey, I want to do this whole, do we call it a X amount point inspection once you're there? Or is it just, I noticed this, I'm going to bring it to your attention?
Yeah. We don't push a lot of inspections. I know I could probably get beat up for that, but
that's all right.
Another big thing we don't do is memberships.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
yeah, so plumbing is hard.
It is.
Memberships are hard for plumbing.
They are.
The only thing we sell a membership with is a water heater.
Okay.
So other than that, we're not.
Okay, so then you do have a membership of some sort.
Yeah, but it's not reoccurring revenue. So it's we pre-built it into the price. We sell it, and then we do service it once a year for the life of that warranty.
It's fair to have recurring revenue. At least it's an opportunity to get in the home and service a client.
It is.
Right.
So, but we do not push, the inspections. I have not been able to, I should probably be visiting shops that do a good job of that, but we are not.
I know a lot of shops that don't.
So we're just not, it's hard because it kind of turns into, a lot of technicians just want to be technicians. And that's one thing we tried to differentiate, who wants to be in sales and who wants to be more turn it a wrench.
So you will still take on, and you just know they're going on those level 1 or 2 calls and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, that's what's hard, with the call center is you need to make sure that everything, you have a process for what it looks like. You can't just be Humpty Dumpty, booking all these random calls. So that's where it gets really complicated.
Yes.
Because this year we're going to run probably 15,000 calls.
Right.
So, you really got to know where they're going.
All right. I want to dig into the call center in a minute, but I want to talk. So this membership that you have a water heater membership, how is that communicated to the homeowner? It's like it needs a flush every year. Like kind of talk us through that. Yeah.
So we do a 6-year, a 9-year, and a 12-year.
Okay.
And once a year we come out and flush, which we do have a process of going other things. We test the elements.
Yes.
Test the anti-rod. We actually have a preventative maintenance department.
Okay.
I have that fly that you're talking
about.
Talking earlier.
Yeah.
But the idea is when you're hired on as a helper, the next entry level before you get in a truck is our preventive maintenance department.
Okay.
So we wanted to be the best hot water heater company in the U.S.
Yeah.
We have to be really good at maintaining them.
Sure.
It goes back to Leland Smith, how he tunes up furnace.
Yeah.
So we spend an hour on a water heater tune-up on every one. And most of your senior technicians don't want to be doing water heater tune-ups.
Sure.
We learned. So we keep the younger guys busy by doing those type of things. But they come out, they have, a form that they need to go through.
Yeah.
Everything from testing hard water, which could get someone happily involved with a water softener.
That's going to be a follow-up. Yep.
Yeah. So water pressure.
Yeah.
Even to pine sawing the whole outside of the unit and wiping it down, making it look pretty.
Yeah.
And
I love that. That's
we are always going back in the house, but we're not walking through the house. I've done that before. I've tried to do it many times. All your shelves in your house need to replace. It's a hard line. So, but if someone does want the opportunity to get a quote for that, we do it.
Right.
So,
but you still train your plumbers, especially, you get a bathroom call and the toilet's from 75 and it's falling apart. Like, hey, do you have other toilets like this? I mean, you're getting access. You're not just putting the blinders in.
No, yeah, you got blinders.
So so you're still having those open-ended conversation with them. Making them aware this is an issue here, may be an issue elsewhere. And then you ultimately will end up at the water heater at some point. I mean, your approach may be a little different, but it's still you're still covering. You're serving the
yeah. So
and it is, how often is it just teaching? Like some guys will do a step a week. Some will go here's a hot topic item. You do a step.
We do a step a week. So I make our service managers fill out a DMR daily.
Okay.
So I'm getting a scorecard daily and we're finding out who's falling behind, because usually it's too hard to wait at the end of the month to know which tech is not performing.
Right.
And so we need to know that week he's already $15,000 behind his monthly goal.
Right.
You know, was he on vacation? What's going on? We need to find out, dig into it. We need to bring him in. But I think that's probably the biggest thing anyone could ever do is daily management.
Right.
So,
hey, let's be honest. If you're listening or watching to the Successful Contractor, you're looking how to get better. More revenue, more profit, more time, a happier team. You're a self-starter, an avid learner, all great things, but you can only learn so much from a podcast. That's why you need a coach, a system, some accountability, a network of 1,200 contractors, industry-leading training, all of that and more. You need Certain Path. At Certain Path, we offer a free discovery call with a Certain Path coach. It's real one-on-one conversations with someone who can help you get clarity, get focused, and start making real progress. At Certain Path, since 1998, we've helped thousands of service business owners in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, build companies that run on systems, not stress. Businesses that grow fast and profitably, but also protect their time, their team, and their values. If you're working long hours, carrying all the pressure, or stuck at a ceiling, this call is for you. Our coaches have helped contractors go from $500,000 to $5 million, from $5 million to $20 million, and from $20 million to $100 million plus. Whatever your goal, Certain Path can direct you along a path to achieve it. So if you're ready for a real conversation with Certain Path about your business, your goals, what's actually in your future, go to the episode description and click on that link that says book your free discovery call. You don't have to figure it out all alone. You just need a proven path and someone who's walked it before. That's Certain Path. Book a discovery call now.
And you have, you said one service or multiple service? I mean,
we have two service managers. I have one over the excavation drain cleaning department.
What is walk me through, because call my call. What does your service manager's day by day kind of look like? How much are they? Yeah, go ahead. I'll shut up and let you talk.
Yeah, so out of a full day, 25% is probably office.
Yeah.
So they get there in the morning. I'm usually there with them to answer any issues, whatever's going on in the morning.
Yeah.
Billy doesn't feel good, doesn't work today, this type of stuff. So, but no, we come in the morning, and then I usually huddle with the managers by 8:30.
Yeah.
We don't do an everyday team huddle.
Okay.
It's just we're not a big enough company. I mean, we know when we need to bring someone in and talk to them.
Yeah.
But they are to report their numbers by 9 a.m. to me.
Okay.
The day before.
Yeah.
And then they're out and about. They have certain jobs they have to sign off on.
Okay.
Before the tech can check out.
Yeah.
Or close out a call.
Okay.
Usually higher ticket jobs or anybody that's dealing with gas lines.
Yep.
So we just really have taken, since we are a plumbing first company, taken pride on doing really good work.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies that just kind of falls under the rug.
Sure.
So
yeah. I'm assuming they have technical backgrounds, both of them.
Yeah, both of them worked in the industry. And I would say that's another hard part is finding good leadership.
Yes.
Because I've been where I would kind of move out of position, then I'm back in a position.
Yeah.
I would consider myself kind of an operations manager right now.
Right.
I'm general manager operations.
Yeah.
On that side, so I still sit in on all the reviews with every technician.
Okay.
I'm able to help print that vision of the company, where it's going, where you're going,
opportunities.
Yeah. So I think that's a big key thing I'm looking for in my next chapter.
Sure.
Is trying to find that right hand person that can do those type of things.
That's
More
good
of an
for you
integrator,
too, right?
Yeah, an
that's a
integrator
good
type
point.
person. So
yeah. So what are those service managers, and I'm sure you've had others. What are you looking for in terms of characteristics or personality or and the ones that are successful? What makes them right ones?
Do they get it? Do they want it? And do they have the capacity to do it?
Okay.
So those are my three things, when looking at someone. I think everybody's going to make the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to put the wrong person in the wrong seat. And, it's up to the leader to make sure that you get that in the butt pretty quick.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of bad decisions. So, but it's, if I didn't make those decisions, but the alternative side is I could have sat there and not made those decisions and always thought about that one person that's going to walk through the door.
Yeah.
And waiting on that perfect one. So as you're growing, that's the hardest part, is getting those A-level, players on the bus, because they want to work for a big company, where there's opportunity. It's hard when you're small.
Are these always been internal hires? Or these been sometimes externals?
No, every single one.
How long has it taken for you to identify, like, Joe, I got a Joe? And is that why the one-on-ones you're sitting in on those things too, those reviews?
Yeah. It goes back to just getting it, like, do they really get it? Like, you really understand how to communicate with someone?
But how are you seeing it? Is it through those meetings you're having with them? Like,
just being around it.
Just being around.
I wish I was an abstinent type of person, but I still am involved pretty heavily.
Yeah.
So I think just being around it, I don't have the right answer for that.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
But you're around the techs enough that you can see.
I know. Yeah.
Who are people looking to? Who seems
And sometimes that person, though, I had someone actually this past year that left because they thought they deserved that position, but they were the gossip king.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody liked him because he liked to gossip. And, you're not always a manager's not there to be your buddy.
No.
So, and that's the hardest problem is they think because everybody's calling them for advice and wanting to be the ringleader that, hey, kind of like a salesman. Everybody does this industry. We put a salesman in a manager position.
Yeah.
And, everything's about me and it's, the dollars and it's not about the team.
I'm glad you pointed it out. So your top techs are not your excuse me, let me rephrase that. Your managers that get promoted in that spot are not necessarily always your top techs, right?
Yeah.
They're not your top producers.
Either one were.
Right. And a lot of people think that's just the natural progression, right? But that's not the case.
And most of the time, the top producers are the most selfish.
Right.
And you want someone that is a team builder.
Yes.
So you need a team builder that's going to, be the quarterback of the team and put the right people in the right seats under them.
Yes.
So
you hire a manager, service manager. How do you nurture that? Again, this person is a technician. That skill set, there's certain characteristics, obviously, that transfer, but the functionality of the job is changing drastically.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you onboard a technician to a manager? What does it look like with you guys?
For us, it's mainly been, it's going back to, do they get it, want it, capacity to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have a good path for it right now.
I mean, do you ride along with it? Like, they sit next to you for a while, or do they sit next to the other manager?
I think it's more of, we just kind of know, I know who they are, and I kind of corral them and say, hey, I think this position is going to be opening up, and I think you should take it.
Right.
So I don't really put postings out there type of thing.
No, but once you put them in that spot, is there a process to get them up to speed? Like, or is it just talking to them every day? Like, what's going on? I think, what's that?
I think the big thing is they have to start. One of the biggest, hardest things was getting them to hold them accountable for their team's numbers.
Right.
So that's why I started doing the daily management report with them. And, we have our own style scorecard that we use.
Right.
But they need to know what each player is doing for their team.
Right.
And the KPIs, because it's not really, they make money off of what their team does.
Sure.
So, but I don't know if that's a good answer as far as, we don't have a good way of,
No, but again, it feels like your fingers are in a lot of things at your size, right?
And that's been the big thing is when you get to that 50 employee mark is getting all the processes dialed in. I've really been working on that this past year.
Right.
Instead of, all SOPs, you really have to have those dialed in. And when everybody comes to Kelson, hey, what do we do on this? I don't know. I'm going to have to look.
Yeah.
So why don't you go look and let me know? But that's what it turns into because, as a smaller company, you're always the man. So you're just like, you do this, you do that. And, my brain doesn't have the capacity for that anymore. So
I don't think anybody does. But you brought up SOPs, so I've got to pull on that string. Are they literally written out? Do you have them saved in a spot or printed out, or how?
Yeah.
What is your philosophy on those?
Yeah. So I have the important ones for departments over, printed out, hanging on walls. We have a shared drive that we share them all. Right. So,
So for that technician that gets promoted to that job, then all of a sudden he has those resources.
So on every task in Service Titan, we have an SOP for every job.
There you go.
So if you don't know how to do a water heater, you look at that step by step on how to install a water heater.
Yeah.
So it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Very good. In terms of managing managers, right? What is do you do a lot of one-on-ones? Like we were talking about that. Like, how do you help them see your vision, understand what they're struggling with?
Mm-hmm.
How can I serve you in a way,
Yeah.
right? Like, what's your philosophy on?
I meet once a week with them.
Okay.
So, and yeah.
And what do you guys talk about? Is it a set script of some sort, or?
Yeah. So our leadership meetings where I have the other leadership members in, we use the EOS
Okay.
model.
Yeah.
But with them, it's more of kind of just getting a pulse of what's going on.
Yeah.
Where do we need to be? We're behind budget. We're ahead of budget. Who's struggling? How many more team members do you need on your team?
Right.
Type of stuff. So it's just more of a low level type meeting, but
Right.
not long, 30 minutes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but you have a pulse. You know where
Yep.
what's going on. Very good.
Mhm.
How do you work with? So the way we've been focusing on technicians so much.
Yeah.
But you have other. I can't remember but we talked about this before we started recording. And I kind of walk you with everyone through your management team looks like, just so everyone understands what that looks like.
So we have an office manager, finance manager, sales manager, warehouse manager, 2 service managers, and a excavation drain manager.
Right. Very good. Now, how often do you guys collectively get together to talk about?
Once a week.
Once a week. And,
Yeah.
and what does that look like? Hey, these are the issues we have, or, I'm sure this happens in your business. It
Yeah.
seems to happen in a lot of them. There's walls that get filled up, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden that department,
Yeah.
we don't like them. So you got to pull that stuff down. So what do those meetings look like? How do you kind of keep real with everybody so you're working collectively?
Yeah. Our higher purpose as a company is we are a family business that serves and cares for families.
Yeah.
So we have to be a team and we have to show up as a team. I don't have any of those type of problems
That's great.
at our office, but I don't want to say I do and then have them. But knock on
Things
wood.
happen, right? Yeah. Sure.
I know if no one's ever read the book Traction, great book. I go through it all the time. Yeah. But their EOS model on how to run a meeting, it tells you right in the book. I think it's a great philosophy. You don't get off track. The one person doesn't show up with all these stories to talk about. So we're here to talk.
Yeah.
Talk about the scoreboard. It's a quick 90-minute meeting.
Yeah.
In and out.
And then we talked about, you have those meetings with your service managers. You do that with all of your managers.
Yes.
So you have a pulse on what's going on in your business.
The big thing is because I'm fulfilling multiple positions, right? So most small businesses are.
Yes.
So that's where I do have to still sit in both of those. So on the Monday one, until I can find that person to take my spot.
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to go back to call center because you said there is so much nuance and making sure, you've got our process in terms of leveling your technicians a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you train your call center folks to understand that? Like, what's that look like for them to understand who's strong at what?
Yeah. So they do go through about a month of training, sitting by someone.
Yeah.
Kind of doing. Then we put them on doing outbound dialing for preventive maintenance calls. So they're in charge of reaching out to those customers and also doing happy calls.
Right. Okay.
We still do a lot of happy calls.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And those done immediately, or those?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So
How many headaches have that solved?
so many.
Right.
Yeah. You can usually tell the people that do and the ones that don't if you go look at their Google reviews.
Yeah.
So, it just takes care of that right away.
Yeah. And it's easy to fix it then.
But yeah, as far as training, that's kind of what it looks like. We have 2 CSRs that have been with us for 10 years. So we don't have, that department usually is a lot of turnover.
Yeah.
But my office manager does a great job of, which we only have 3 CSRs.
Right.
We utilize AI after hours now.
Okay.
So in Overflow.
Okay. What product do you use?
Zyra.
Okay. Yep. All right. Very good. And then dispatcher. Yeah, I'm sure you have dispatcher. Or
Yeah, we only have one.
one dispatcher.
Yeah, one dispatcher. So he's busy.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the in-between phase and need a second one. But,
Right. What was his background?
He went to college, and I did his review, sat in on his review with the office manager about a month ago. I said, "What'd you go to college for?" And he goes, I have no idea. He worked at he worked at a news station for a little while.
Is that right?
But we brought him in actually as a marketing assistant, and kind of really good with the guys. He's real, lift me up type of personality. Because you know how guys are. I don't want to run this call or I don't want to do that.
Right.
And he's just really good at pumping them up. And, keeping the vibe.
Yeah.
So, and he's been with us for 7 years now too.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. How much is your call center manager, dispatcher working with the service man, sales man?
So sales is right. So our office setup is sales and the call center and the office manager and the dispatcher all sit next to each other. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So they know what's going on. Service managers are kind of on the opposite side of the building. So back in the day, Jamie used to be dispatcher, was the assistant manager to the manager of that department.
Right.
When they had different locations. So, but we haven't quite figured that out.
Yeah.
It is a good model.
Right.
But it's really hard to find people in leadership, because the problem you run into is when you start looking for managers to pay them, most of them want to make what plumbers are making, and you can't compensate them the same. So that's where you usually find someone else at the trade.
Right.
And then that has its other battles. So, it's just kind of, I think you can set it up however you want. So it doesn't have to be exactly like someone else.
No, that's true. No, it's your business.
I've seen plenty of companies that have a great service manager and then they have a field supervisor that takes care of all the problems out in the field.
Right. So when you are going outside, what are certain, again, traits or things you're looking for? We talked about the internal promotion, but now you've got an outside person. You don't know anything about them outside of a resume. Get a few conversations. What's that?
Did they show up on time to the interview? First thing, are they presentable?
Yeah.
Are we got long hair? And, we're still in the service business. We are an image-based business.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that, people just let it go.
I agree. Yeah.
Would you send that person to your mom's house?
Right.
Is what I always try to think. Or would you let your daughter date this dude?
Yeah.
So that's usually.
So even at the management level, these are things that you have to gatekeep, which is wild, but I guess that's where we are.
There's been plenty. We had someone actually got hired, and I was in Florida during it, and I let the service managers do the hiring.
Yeah.
I still feel them out, but I was out of town, and they brought someone in that I did not approve or wouldn't have approved.
Yeah.
And they know real quick what the image we want. So.
Right. That's interesting. Part of a business of your size, growing. I mean, people leave. There's just finding new people constantly, and you have a philosophy of hiring from outside the industry, correct? Like for technicians. I'm shifting. Sorry, I should have prefaced that.
Best way we've been able to grow, because everybody's going to have turnover.
Yeah.
It's probably the hardest thing in our industry is, all the time Christmas parties. Why I can't stand them is everybody comes up to you. Oh yeah, man, I'm going to be here forever. I'm a lifer. And then a month later, like, I had a better opportunity. And it's like, what? I thought we just talked, how can we make this work? And it's like, well, I just can't turn this down. It's like, it's, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's figured it out, but it's the industry in its way.
Well, I think the average technician stay 2.5 years. I think I saw something like that.
Yeah.
So, but that means you got to keep the pipeline.
But we have a lot of apprentices. So
how
we budget 2%.
2%.
We just I just run ads on Indeed and stuff for an apprenticeship.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So
but you're not going to high schools or trade schools.
No, I've tried it. No. Usually I like someone that's either got a baby on the way, they got to work, they got bills.
They got life.
Hiring the guy that still lives in his mom's basement does never go well. I can tell you that. So it may be Johnny may be a good kid, but he calls in a lot or stayed up late playing video games. So. No, I like to see the new truck in the parking lot or whatever, They got to pay for it. They got to work. So
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, I mean, then you said you interview apprentices too? Or you get some
I bring them in.
You bring them in?
Yeah. So I still, we actually have HR recruiter starting because that's been a big point for me is, it's time consuming.
Yes.
Bringing those people in all the time. But I've just gotten really good at it. So I just have stayed dealing with it.
Right.
I don't like doing it, but
big part of the business. So
it is. So, what I've found is I tried to push it off on other people and they're busy doing other things. And as a leader, my job is to get people on the bus. So I just kind of had to buckle up and do it until this person starts. So
yeah. So a new apprentice comes on.
Yeah.
What's his or her, what's the onboarding look like? What's their typical experience with you until
that is something that we are trying to figure out.
Okay.
The experience has been that they need to ride with someone for a year.
Yeah.
And then they go into our preventive maintenance program for a minimum of a year. We're learning how to talk to people. I mean, that's the biggest thing. We throw people in a truck.
Yeah.
And they don't, first call they run, we get a bad start because they didn't know how to present. And that's really what it comes down to. They may know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they don't know how to talk to the person. So we've kind of started that preventive maintenance department actually for that.
Got it.
So they need to be in that department for a minimum of 6 months to a year.
Okay.
And then they move into their own truck.
Okay.
which in Indiana, you got to be licensed. It takes 4 years, which is kind of ridiculous. But
it's good for the trade.
It is, but it hurts a lot of guys.
I'm teasing
too.
a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because
it holds you back where, the service industry is different than doing commercial grade food stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so 4 years, you got to do 4 years before you get your license. So we kind of have a roadmap of what that looks like.
Right.
They have to check off on things they're capable of doing. And then we add those into Service Titan. We know, we're booking jobs, what jobs certain techs can do. So
what is your, you hire X amount of apprentices. What's your hit rate? Like what percentage end up running a service for you? Or do you have a lot that kind of weed themselves out?
No, it's probably 75%.
75%?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I would say most of them is the ones that we hired that don't just really have anything going on after hours.
Yeah.
So, or too young.
Right.
It's been really hard to hire the 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've had some that have been good success, but most of them are the 21 to 25. Hey, I need to figure out what I'm doing. I went to college and I got this debt on this college. I wish I would have done this before, but
right. Do you find any similar backgrounds of these 21, 25-year-olds? I mean, was it the college for a year? Maybe they did restaurant business. Maybe they did retail, something like that, or it's just all walks of life.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know because you do know you like to see people in the customer service industry already, like waiter or something like that. Actually, one of our rock stars right now, that's a 4th-year apprentice. He used to work at a Texas Roadhouse.
Is that right?
Yeah, and he has the best personality. Actually, we're grooming him for a sales position.
Oh, cool.
So, but yeah, I would agree. But no, I mean, I've seen them
all different walks,
and just kind of, you can't hire all A players. You got to have some C players on the bus.
Right.
So,
How about technical app? Is there a way you're like, okay, I'm like, I always say myself, I am terrible. I'm not a hands person.
Yeah.
But I'm like, a year, do you figure over a year, typically they can figure it out to do enough to be
and
C player?
Yeah. That's why we have gone with a service manager that knows the trade.
Yeah.
Because they're able to walk them through the calls and go out and, when I have a problem at, Mrs. Jones' house, I can't figure this out. Can you run by here? Their job is to show up and get it taken care of right away.
Sure.
But as far as that, I've had guys that come in and test really well with our stuff in the house or in-house training, and then they go out and they're like, I don't know.
Right, for sure.
So I don't know if there's a good gauge on it or not. I'm sure someone has it figured out, but
I don't know about that. I would have heard it. I think
it's a hard business.
One of us would have heard it.
I tell people
business.
Every day, I'm like, the reason we're not, still a lot of mom and pop shops, it's a hard business.
Very hard. It's very hard.
People and
it's a people
just,
and Well, and the other part, which I want to get is managing inventory.
Yeah.
Right. And ensuring you're not just sitting with tons of money in a warehouse, right? Trying to get as lean as possible. I feel like that's something you feel like you do pretty well at, right?
Hey, sorry to interrupt, Bob here. Quick question. Would you like a slice of the $10 million Certain Path helps contractors put back into their pockets every year? I talk to contractors all the time. Customers are spending less. Margins are shrinking. So how do you protect your profits? You buy better. At Certain Path, we give you access to all sorts of things. World-class coaching, training for every single role in your company, the largest home services community in the industry, over 1,200 members, and most importantly, 120 vendor partners you already use, equipment, financing, marketing, so much more. We negotiate exclusive discounts and rebates, over 10 million in rebates alone, and it grows every single year. So if you want to compete with private equity, you have to buy like private equity, and that's where we come in. The best part, savings and rebates can more than cover your membership. Everything else is icing on the cake. Want in? Click a link in the description. Book your free discovery call with one of our coaches and my friends, Mike or Will. One conversation could save you tens of thousands of dollars every year. Now, let's get back to the show.
Yeah, so we run 20% material to sales. Some months we're 18, 17 and a half. But we are not currently doing it now. We have done in the past. It's a rock of mine to get accomplished, but we've kind of outgrown our office manager. We don't have VMI. Most companies our size do.
Yes.
Have not gone that route yet because of really getting locked into someone.
Right.
My father did that back in the day, and we just, we're able to hold it. Yes, it does take some capital to bring it all in.
Yep.
But we're able to make decisions and manage it the way, we want to right now. And it's just worked out well for us.
Right.
But going back to truck stock, we use the Hackney shelves. They're a fantastic setup. I still set up every truck when they come in. So, still have to put all the shelving in, all the trays and rivets and every sticker. But once a month, pull every tray off, put it in a mock truck. In the warehouse, someone has to go through the inventory. Service Titan actually has an inventory counter. You can keep track through Service Titan on it. It's pretty complicated, but once you figure it out, it's just a lot of money, guys. Just, they let it go. You'll have some guys that really take care of it, and some guys just don't.
So your guy's not allowed to go to the box store to go.
We do allow Home Depot, but they have to call in. We've gotten to the point where it's odd end stuff if they do.
Yeah.
So, but we also don't carry as much as we did 10 years ago.
Right. So
we've cut it down a lot.
Yeah.
So
how did you decide on really is it like these are the top 15 most common things?
That's the 80-20 rule.
Okay.
So that's what we try to utilize.
Yeah. So you don't have these wild fluctuations in terms of
back
materials.
In the day, we used to carry water heaters, toilets, but the problem is every time you show up to the job, the heater would be damaged or the toilet would be damaged.
Right.
Because the technicians, it just more that you'll have the one or two guys that are rock stellars that's perfect.
Yeah. And
then the rest will just can't manage it.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So logistically, I'm a homeowner. Your guy sells me. It's a leaky faucet, and that's getting addressed. And then all of a sudden, it's a toilet job, and it's a water heater job, and I'm saying yes to everything.
So you're calling in to the dispatcher saying, "Hey, I just sold this job." The dispatcher's going to say, "No, we're doing it today."
Right.
I'm in charge of moving your other calls.
Right.
You just worry about the job you got, and then it'll go. The technician will make a call to our warehouse manager, which he's responsible for all the inventory.
Yep.
He will pull it together. Then we'll find a helper. We do have enough apprentices that their job is once a week. One of them's floating. That's what we call it. So he's getting materials to people, stopping at, the supplier we use has a bunch of branches around Indy.
Perfect.
He's stopping at a branch, picking it up, has it to you within an hour.
Love it.
He'll help you for a little while. Let's get the job done. Get it collected today.
Very good. So one helper has been enough. And that's to handle those situations.
Yeah, we rotate it.
Yeah.
But between all
like
of
two
them.
or three. Yeah.
I think we have 12 or 15 apprentices, helpers right now. So we're constantly rotating them between technicians. I used to have the one helper rise with the one guy to learn.
Sure.
Well, they usually start their own business or, but we try to keep them rotating.
No.
And
No, but that's so important though, just because you're right. Because I'm all of a sudden I've been saying yes to everything. You let me sleep over it. You're like, wait a minute. I thought I saw, that water here at Home Depot for what? And what did I just agree to? So just get it installed, right?
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, we're very, very efficient. So
yeah. Okay. I want to talk about your philosophy on growth. And debt.
Yeah.
And that you're a debt-free company.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's very easy to take out loans to start chasing more trucks.
Yeah.
Or calls. Why have you decided to grow debt-free?
Mainly because of stress.
Sorry that'd be funny, but I appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, everybody could quit tomorrow and Kelson will go back out running service calls. So, but it's a slow growth, it'll be 17 years, this coming year that I've been doing this. So, there's some years we didn't buy trucks. There's some years, it's not the path to fast growth. I'll tell you that.
No.
But for my age, it's been to where now I'm to the point where I have the capital to keep exploding.
Yeah.
Keep reinvesting in the company. But no, I would say just mainly the principles. I'm kind of a Dave Ramsey guy. My family is. So I just, I have friends that have larger companies that don't, I make more money than them. Because they have to service a lot of that money back to someone else.
Absolutely.
So just knowing, just because you have the highest top dollar revenue in the room doesn't mean you have the most money in the bank.
Totally agree with you.
Yeah.
So what's your when you it's about that budgeting season, right? Forecasting for the next year. Like, is that just, you're like, okay, we're not going to get a new truck, or now, we're not going to chase this new service division or whatever. How much is that, go into your thought process?
I think, or one of my biggest things as I've gotten around a lot more successful people is we're not, as small business owners, we're not good at planning.
Right.
And I haven't been good at planning. So trying to, as this next year comes, what does it look like each quarter as we add X amount of techs? We need X amount of trucks, X amount of calls. In the past, it was always been kind of, you typical wait till the end of the year. You need to buy 5 trucks.
Right.
This past year, I've gotten better at buying trucks throughout the year. It's hard, if you do have, make over 15% on that 11 million, it's hard to go spend X amount of dollars in 1 month. So, I mean, you can, but you're just buying stupid stuff. It's like, do we really, what do we need? What does it look like? So I think you either need to be planned or be planned for. So, and I think everybody deals with it, until you get to that next level.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that most guys, struggle with. So,
do you have a certain philosophy on what your cash reserves need to be that make you feel comfortable when you go to bed at night?
No, but there again, I have had friends that open up to me so I can see what they look like. I don't think there's a good amount of number, but we do like to keep a certain amount. So
for sure. We've talked a little bit. I want to shift a little bit of personal development, leadership type stuff. You are super involved with us. You are in tag groups. You're in the sales management group. You're in Alliance Pride. And I want to kind of touch on each one of these, maybe. The accountability group, your tag group. What value, maybe share with everyone what that is, what value you get out of that.
Yeah. Tag group, it's been hard to find one to fit into.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things. Just always keep looking.
Yeah.
But it is good to get. Another thing that's really hard is to find a plumbing company, plumbing only. That's a hard thing because when I'm competing against HVAC guys, it's just a different world.
It's a different number.
So, but it's good to get a pulse on, where everybody's at financially. You can kind of gauge, what are they doing better than you, or what are you doing better than them, vice versa.
Yeah.
You're able to help each other out.
And you were in Carl's are you still in the sales management group?
I'm not anymore.
Okay, you were there for much.
Yeah, I did it for a year.
Yeah.
So, no, Carl's a fantastic guy. I love Carl.
Yeah.
So knowing him a long time.
Yeah.
And
I guess you probably have from back in the day, right?
So, no, we touch base every once in a while, just to see what's going on. And if I ever need advice, I mean, he's one of those guys I think everybody should utilize in the group. Talk to.
Oh, sure.
He has so much knowledge and so much to give back to the industry.
Yeah, he was around with your mom and dad.
Yeah. My mom and him, he told me actually the first night I met him that they were on stage together in St. Louis doing I don't know if it was a call center and 9/11 on the day of 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
And he said my mom was freaking out how to get back to her kids. Because he didn't know if the world was going to end during that time. So
at least you can drive 4 hours to Indy.
Well, I think she drove. So but no, it goes way back.
It's funny how tight this part of the industry is. Everyone kind of knows everybody. Just experience it. Now I know you are in Brandon's Alliance Pride. Right now, how long have you been in that? What drove that decision to get into that?
Well, I love Brandon. I don't know anybody. I love Brandon.
Sure.
So super inspirational dude. So I think it was last year's expo they announced it, and it's pretty expensive. But I was like, you know what? I'm at the point in my life where I need to be investing in my, leadership skills and who I am. And he's really done a good job this year of digging in personally. I've had some things deep down that I needed to figure out, why I am the way I am and how there's certain things I do that I don't mean to, but, it's because I was brought up that way or, what life event happened when you were a kid that, could have triggered those things.
Right.
Certain beliefs about yourself. And every time I talk to him, I want to run through a wall after talking to him. So he's just got that good way of pumping you up.
How frequent do you guys get together?
It's once a month, and then personally, then once a month as a group. So there's like 10 or 12 of us get together.
So it's a lot of it's personal stuff, right? But how has that benefited you as a leader in a business, right? As an operator?
I would say because if you don't know yourself, it's hard to lead, a pack. So you really need to dig into yourself. Why do you, there's too many people that don't know what they want. When you ask someone what you want to do with the business, most people don't really, they don't have an idea. Right. So, for me, I'm getting ready to enter the next chapter of my life. I'm 35. Yeah. And so what?
No, you kept saying 17 years earlier and you're 35. And I'm like, you started so young.
But I started,
that's why I chuckled. No,
right away.
Yeah.
I just figured I'd do something, and I've always been instilled to be a hard worker. Parents were hard workers, and just stick with it. You got to stick with something. There's so many people, now I'm 35, can have many friends have gone every which way.
No, 100%.
So, but no, just, if you're not bettering yourself, you're not going to better your team.
Right.
So you as an owner always have to be working on yourself, or even a leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even a leader of a service manager, leader of a team. If you're not working on yourself, then you're not growing.
No, totally agree. Now you're at that mark 11, you're looking at, 15, 20 down the line, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of change that happens.
Yeah.
Or needs to happen, right?
Yeah.
So, we talked about it before hitting record. Kind of share, if you don't mind, with everyone what you're thinking about to take Carter to the next level. What is that going to involve, operationally?
Yeah. The big thing, obviously, is people to turn the wrenches. We need to get more dialed in on our process, on what it looks like, bringing people through our owner apprenticeship. I'm tired of hiring from the outside, trying to get guys to come in. It's always just been so much better recipe to breed our own. The other big thing is obviously creating more leadership positions, having the vision for those positions, and then some C-suite stuff, which would be I need a controller, someone to help me on that side, and someone higher level in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do a good job right now of tracking every cent and dollar for marketing. So that's something, I've learned from my peers that larger companies do is they know down to the dollar and cent each, on the funnel where everything's coming from.
Right.
So we don't do the best job of it. We have a good grip, but I'd like it to be better.
Sure.
So,
100%.
And then, possibly a operations manager.
Right.
Well, actually, an operations manager would be another one.
Right.
So I'm filling that seat too.
Where do you see if you get that operations manager, kind of unload a lot.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these, actually, you're filling all of these, right? If you look at the org chart.
Yeah, right now I'm filling a lot.
In all of them. So where would you like to grow to get your position to, where you're focused?
Yeah. So I'm seeing myself more in the visionary type position, and having an integrator, which would probably be the operations, but I'm still really good over the admin side. So still have my handle on the marketing. Yeah,
very good. So what are your grand goals for the company? Where do you want to take it? Just see where it goes, or or you want to get to a certain size to just be comfortable in what?
No, I'm gonna keep growing it. I'm gonna keep creating a legacy. I just had a baby boy, so he's a 4th generation Carter. So I have created a company that is sustainable, and it doesn't have to be sold tomorrow. Yeah. I can do with what I want with it.
Right.
So it is it is kind of going to war every day, but that's business.
Sure.
There's a lot of things that have taught me over the years that, it'll soon pass. So even your hardest day. So
sure.
I think everybody, that's the greatest part about this group coming together. We can all talk about, everybody's got a story for this year. So, or, they've all had the story about the guy or the person, or we can all relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was going to say that leads in what's the group been for you as a resource and your journey?
Yeah. I mean, it's been everything. I mean, it's been a foundation block of really my business.
Yeah.
I mean, I too many guys out there, and I see it day after day, guys that leave us to go start their own business, and they have no idea what they're doing. They don't, they just don't get it. They think by being the best technician that you're going to be the best business owner.
Right.
And they need to go back to the basics and really understand the fundamentals of the business.
Yeah.
And, Certain Path does a great job of putting you on that track.
Yeah.
So, and the biggest thing is understanding pricing.
Right.
We don't just charge what we charge because we want to.
Right.
So, there has to be things behind it.
Absolutely.
So,
well, Kelson, thank you so much for all your time. I know it's a long one, but I just love digging into people's stories and how they're operating, and I just really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
The Successful Contractor Podcast is part of the Certain Path family. Certain Path builds successful home service businesses and has for 25 years. We do it by providing contractors with a proven path to success, professional coaching, software solutions, and a member community of 1,000 plus strong. Doubling your sales with a 20% net profit and an inspiring company culture is all possible. Let us show you the way. With Certain Path, success is made certain. Visit www.mycertainpath.com for more information.